Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. So Isaac Chamberlain becomes the new British and Commonwealth cruiserweight champion. He defeats the former champ now, Mikael Lawal, over 12 rounds, 12 round decision. I made this 119, 109. So 11 rounds to 1. I think two of the judges had it similar, or I think all three had it wide anyway. But it was one-way traffic, and it was a bit of a damp squib of a fight because we were all hoping that Mikael Lawal, although in terms of skills and probably talent is a level or two below Isaac, that his physicality and his determination would make the fight a lot closer, and you never know, maybe pull off the upset win. But he came in undefeated, 17 wins with 11 KOs, no draws, no defeats. This was his first fight since he won the British title against David Jameson, the Scottish guy. This was back in November of last year. And the Commonwealth belt was vacant for this fight with Isaac. So disappointing for Mikael Lawal, but he was always at least one step behind Isaac. In every department, Isaac was better. He was obviously more talented, slicker, faster, busier. He didn't hurt Mikael at any point. I think there might have been in one of the early rounds. He landed one punch that seemed to shake Mikael a little bit, but no big deal. Mikael, I mean, probably about the seventh round, he finally got his engine running to some extent, but still couldn't really win rounds. He made them a little bit more competitive. And he just wasn't throwing enough punches. It was that simple. The punches were so sparse from Lawal, and it was one of those occasions where you could think to yourself, well, the guy just doesn't know what to do. Chamberlain was too busy. He was putting the pressure on. He was making Lawal miss when Lawal did let his hands go. He was keeping him off balance. He was controlling the range. He was, to start with, he was the more aggressive guy. And it was weird because between the first and second rounds, Lawal's trainer said to him, be patient, give it another couple of rounds. I think that's the wrong advice. I think from the word go, Lawal should have been getting physical or trying to get physical with Isaac Chamberlain, because Chamberlain was always going to be, the better fighter, the more talented fighter, the better technician. I just didn't understand for the life of me why the trainer was saying that, and why Lawal just seemed content to just sort of drift through the rounds, not really doing anything. It was a disappointing performance, and he'll be disappointed with himself. I think he's never really suggested that he can go beyond domestic level. He's certainly never been, what you might call world class, or hinted at being world class. But European at one point, I mean, you would have thought, yeah, okay, he can be a good European operator. He's 28 now, Mikael, so he can come back. But he's got to understand that because of his technical limitations and his I suppose you might say his talent limitations, he's going to have to be busier. He's going to have to let his hands go more. He's going to have to use that physical strength that he's got, which he undoubtedly has. But even in close, when Isaac Chamberlain was up close and personal, he was very crafty as well. The experience of doing 12 rounds with Chris Billam-Smith and Lawrence Okoli very early on in his career. This was good from Chamberlain. He really showed it. He was crafty, a lot of nous in there. He's 29, so he's in his prime. But he has the ability to move on to, certainly to European level. I would go for the EBU title next. And maybe world level. For Mikael, it's going to be try and get the British back, the Commonwealth back, maybe if Isaac gives them up. But there won't be a rematch. This was just too one-sided. Theodore O'Reilly might be an good opponent, perhaps. But yeah, this was one-way traffic, and it was a little bit disappointing. It wasn't the most boring fight you've ever seen. It was just too one-sided to be a classic. But Chamberlain showed a lot in there. This might just be the best performance of his career. Even though he was in against a technically limited guy, he diffused the physicality, diffused Lawal's any game plan Lawal might have had. From the word go, he diffused it. He just contained the guy, kept him contained for 36 minutes of fighting. And on the occasions when Lawal did get brave and started coming forward and slinging punches and trying to put it on Isaac fought back well. So a very, very good performance by Isaac Chamberlain. Commiserations to Mikael Lawal. He'll have to come back. Isaac can move on now. He might be looking for a world title shot. Maybe I mean, the Billum Smith fight wasn't for the world title. It was for the EBU and Commonwealth titles. But now that Billum Smith has got a belt, maybe he'll be going after that after Billum Smith's faced Masternak. I don't know. We'll see. But this was the headliner at the York Hall. Took over from the aborted Boatsi Dan Aziz fight, and not a great fight, but okay. But the bill itself, it's only 4 fights, but it weren't bad. It wasn't bad. That Sam Gilly Louis Green fight was brilliant, and I was entertained by the Joe Laws and Mick Hennessy Jr. fight as well. I thought that was an entertaining little thing, and yeah. So not all was lost. It was a decent enough night's boxing on Sky, but of course they'll want bigger venues, bigger names, bigger titles. We'll see if Mr. Shalom and Boxer can deliver. So okay, comments below if you've got any. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you could hit the subscribe button, it takes you just a second, and also hit the like button as well. Thanks for your time as always. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.